back in the building for another No News, Just Facts podcast. And we are back in here for episode 69. How is everybody? Hopefully you're doing well. I know it's been a little bit of a time since I put out a podcast, but I'm back yet again. I don't really have like a monologue or anything like that. All I can say is that the weather has been simply horrible. It's been hot, hotter, hottest, and even more hot. I don't know what the temperature is. I don't know what the creator has the oven on. But it dang sure ain't on mid. Let's just say that. It's on 450 to broil out here. If you don't have a destination like a job or something like that, I would suggest you just stay inside because you can dang near cook a 5-course meal outside right now, man. I don't know what's up with this weather, bro. It's just been a thing, man. I don't know. The weather is just and it's trash for somebody who works outside like myself. Working outside and you just gotta it's good because you get to stay high. It gives you more self awareness of staying hydrated and drinking more water than you're probably used to drinking. But at the same time, your skin is not gonna thank you later for standing out in the sun, even if it's just for a little bit. You dig what I'm saying? So, yeah, the weather thing is just really just sending just the messages of, hey, let's cook human beings. Let's cook the environment. Man, it's just very hot out here. The weather is just insatiable. But man, rather than to ramble and continue on with the weather and everything like that, we're just gonna get into the first story. Yeah, let's do it. I believe it was Jim Jones that said um, hip hop or being a rapper has to be the most dangerous job um, for various reasons. And I believe he got into it with a military or army person that said that no, being a rapper is not the most dangerous profession. It is those professions that have to do with, the people who are army, marines, firefighters, police officers, people who serve a certain purpose to be servants of and or help the public. Those are the people who have the most dangerous job in the world. Well, um, and that was a back and forth thing between Jim Jones and that army person. The way I see it is, rap is a dangerous job, but I mean at the same time, I think just being a entertainer in general is a dangerous job. If you're somebody who's always seen in public, I think the people who are seen in public have more of a target on their back. I think the rappers, I think any person who's affiliated with a certain crew or group of people who are detrimental to some form of the public and serve a danger, serve in some sort of way with a dangerous initiative uh, attached to it. I think those are the people who are at risk. I don't think all rappers are at risk, but I mean I think it should be noted that certain amount. I just think all entertainers should have security with them, just because it's like nobody's really safe with that. But I say all that to get into so
Yo!
um Miami Police Department, I believe it's Miami Police Department. They released footage of the Polo G arrest from 2021, and basically all that had they're basically showing all that occurred during that time period of the arrest with Polo G, and you know what went on. I will expound on something that has to do with something connected to this, and let's just react to the footage. Right, we're just gonna react to the
Yo! 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 Damn, what the fuck? Yo! Yo! Gee, you got Don back?
Yo. Yo, Polo G is hilarious, bro. Polo G is hilarious, man. He's giving them a run for their money. He's giving these police officers hell. He's giving these police officers hell, man. Nah. He said if you gonna have me, if you gonna arrest one of the biggest rappers is gonna give you hell. I'm gonna give y'all hell. No, I get it. I totally understand. This is hilarious. It's funny as hell. He is giving them just pure and utter hell.
Stop.
You broke as hell. I definitely.
Oh, here we go about the broke and about the money. Oh my God.
Broski, you broke. I'm just saying, you got $10,000 in your bank account right now. You got $10,000 in your bank account. I'm just saying, bro, because if you die right now, cause what could you give your kid? If you die right now, what could you give the lady that you in bed with? What could you give to your mama? Have you ever bought your mama anything?
Yeah.
God damn, bro. He really hitting, bro. He really hitting him with the questions, though. I ain't even gonna lie, though. He hitting him with them questions, though. I ain't even gonna front, man. He really hitting him with those questions, man. But, you know, it makes me wonder, like, when police arrest, like, entertainers and rather that of rappers, like, do they get some type of fixation from arresting rappers? Because it don't even gotta be a gangster rapper that gets arrested. Like, I feel like, and like I said, I'm gonna get on this like later on. I'm gonna give you like a real breakdown because there's something that used to be around back then. It might still be around now, but I feel like police get like some sort of vindication from arresting rappers, even if they're not gangster rappers. It could probably be the most positive rapper, and I'm sure the most positive rapper is probably gonna get arrested as well. You know, probably gonna get messed around with just because a lot of rappers make more money than police officers, and that, you know, that in turn is like, why the hell does he get to drive a nice car? You know, why the hell does he get to wear nice jewelry? You dig what I'm saying? I feel like it's something like that when it comes to, you know, when we speak about police and rappers.
On Mother's
Did
Day?
you buy your mama a car? Did you buy your mama a house? I did that. I did both of those.
Was it good for you, bro? I'm glad you did that.
Ever in life.
I would love to do that one day.
You would love to do it, but you never will.
And what is that supposed to make me feel like? A less of a man than you are?
Yes, that's supposed to make you feel like less of a man.
So what I gotta do?
Yo! Yo!
So, you know, even though it's probably coming out of like a frustration thing, I really feel like those are some real questions. Those are some real questions to ask. But then again, on the other side of that, it's like, why are you making me feel like less of a man because I don't have enough? I don't have as much money as you. You dig what I'm saying? I'm on one hand, I'm like, he is asking some valid questions to the police officer, but at the same time, you know, I know it's coming from like a place of frustration. And on the other side of that, you know, with the police officer, it's like, bro, I'm just doing my job. Why you hassling me? Why you know what I'm saying? Why you belittling me? Because, you know, you're a prized possession to a certain company or something like that. I feel that. I understand that.
Gotta be a rapper? But I do provide. I do. I just don't know how to sing like you.
You talk about, I don't know, you don't know how to sing.
I don't?
You can know how to be a man. You can know how to box. You can know how to play baseball.
Do you box?
Be a police officer.
You box?
You want to be a police officer?
So I'm supposed to be a professional boxer, like a champion boxer, to make like millions of dollars? Sorry, man, I don't have the skill for that.
You could have been a doctor.
I low key want to know, like, what did they arrest him for? Let me just look that up real quick. Hold on. Let me just look that up real quick. Let's figure out what did he get arrested for? I'm trying to figure this out. Let me just see what did Polo G get arrested for in 2021? What was it for? What was the real reason why he got arrested? Let's see real quick. Let's just see what he got arrested for. What did he get arrested for? It says it's what did he get arrested for? It says he was charged with battery on a police officer, threats to a public servant, resisting an officer with violence to his person, resisting an officer without violence to his person, and criminal mischief. And this was all on the night of an album release. This was all on the night that he released an album, and it was an album release party. That really raises the question. That really raises a question. What were they really arresting the man for? And it says that he's, let me see here. They dropped the 2 felonies and a misdemeanor. Okay. That really makes me wonder, like, what did they arrest him for? What was the point of the arrest? I don't know, man.
How come you didn't become a doctor?
You chose to be a police officer.
How come you didn't become a doctor?
For your family. I just asked you, do you got
I make an honest living.
You invested in, bro. Do you even got any money in stock?
But see, here's another problem that I have. It's like, what do you care that I'm a rapper? Why are you questioning me for being a rapper? Like, why do you care so much about, why didn't you go become a doctor? Like, bro, I'm frustrated. You got me locked up. You don't really have a reason to tell me why I'm locked up. And it's like, I got every fiber of being in my body to be mad and to ask questions and to ask you, like, why do y'all got me hemmed up like this? Like, why am I in this situation that I'm in? I have every reason I'm $1 billion, you know what I'm saying? I'm $1 billion artist. I'm a world artist. Been to multiple countries. I have this much money. I got these many cars, and you arrested me for what? Like, really? What did I get locked up for? What did he get arrested
for? Bitcoin, anything. What could you get to your kids? You don't have shit. You broke, bro. I'm telling you what's real.
You broke.
What could you do if you died right now? Only thing they can say is he was a good officer.
That's enough for me.
That's not enough for your kids, though, bro. That's why your kids
Gotta be a rapper, but I do provide.
That's why your kids trying to struggle through the day to day because you know you risk your life every day in this job, right? So a nigga kill you dead, and your kids gotta live with the fact they pops was a fucking loser. That's why your kids trying to struggle through the day to day because you know you risk your life every day in this job, right? So a nigga kill you dead, and your kids gotta live with the fact they pops was a fucking loser.
I ain't gonna lie, he's spitting though. I ain't gonna lie. He's spitting. He antagonizing them a little bit, but he's spitting though. He's spitting. There's another one. Let's get to that other one.
Yo! Until I went to sleep and woke back up and I was still in the back of that car. I got every right to be frustrated.
You're frustrated, man. You didn't black out.
How come I didn't black out? How the fuck is you gonna tell me what the fuck I did?
Because said you were kicking the doors the whole time.
I'm telling you, when you first apprehended me, and they slammed me to the floor, I blacked out. That's what I just told this lady right here.
Bro, you were how when you were...
You were fighting us the entire time. What are you talking about?
I did not need medical attention. I told y'all.
You said what?
I told you I did not need medical attention.
You said you wanted medical attention.
That's what you were telling me the whole
Huh? I did not say that.
Yo, bro, I don't
You told him you wanted medical attention.
You want medical attention. That's what we're...
Bro, I promise to God. What the fuck is I'm lying for? I did not say that.
Bro,
So you didn't want any medical attention?
Please remind them.
How much you got in here? How much you got in here?
I got $15,000. Please don't steal my money.
Nobody wants your money.
Please don't steal my money.
Nobody wants your money.
Yeah, okay. He said don't nobody want to steal your money. All right. Okay, police officers. Y'all don't want that man's money. Y'all don't want $15,000. That's a lie. Y'all don't even... Yeah, he making what y'all make. He making what y'all make by the hour. Dang, man. So what I wanted to go into next, while I was still here, is basically hip hop police. So let me just look for this real quick. And I'm not talking about the Chameleonaire song. Okay. So let's see. So I don't know if y'all know this, but there used to be a thing back in the day where New York police officers literally monitored rappers. I don't know if it was throughout everywhere in the United States at that time and point, but I do know that New York actually had a rap unit. So it says, according to the New York Post, the New York City Police Department, the task force makes a list of weekly rap shows and classified them as either low, medium, or high risk in terms of illicit activity expected. The task force has reportedly monitored Remy Ma, 50 Cent, and Yes, 6ix9ine. Records show that ahead of a scheduled appearance at Club Lust over some time ago, an email circulated among members of the rap unit about the concert. The NYC plants undercover police inside of the venues to keep eyes on the crowd, as well as officers outside, even if the artist on stage is not wanted for a single crime. You see what I said about police officers getting at rappers, even if they're not gangster rappers? I meant what I said. Officers still show up if they believe crimes will be carried out and threats are posed. All right, so it says, we know enough about how black and other people of color communities are persecuted by the police. It's the same formula. Even if there is no intel on crimes being committed, cops will show up and find something, if not forcibly create a conflict themselves. To create an entire squad focused on the shows of popular hip-hop artists is not a waste of time, waste of funds, but deliberately and racially motivated. Attack on the communities of color that are more inclined to listen to hip-hop and attend those concerts. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy in the same way seeing police in one's neighborhood or schools. If you see police all the time and are always under the watchful eye of a group trying to catch you slip up, you will eventually cave and be that which they wanted you to be, a criminal, only using that term for the purpose of how cops see crime, not us. Right? So it says, and this has been going on for quite some time, even back to Biggie Smalls, Derek Parker, an NYCPD detective in the late 90s, claims that NYPD officers from the department's major case squad followed Biggie on his trip to LA. Yo, that's crazy. The New York Police Department was in LA the night he got, bro, that's crazy. That is crazy. They was following him like that. Goodness. Dario, what, Don Florio, who represented Remy Ma 69 and others, when asked about the rap intel unit, said they're a shadow specialized unit that conducts overly aggressive investigations that monitor every move of entertainers. To me, it's like stalking at the highest. And that's why I say, bro, that basically, basically, um, that the hip hop police are like it never left. It's not gone. It's still around. Like I feel like, but it's easier to it's easier to access most of the stuff because of, I would say the reason why is because everything is on the internet. Like almost everything is on the internet, bro. Like all the street stuff ends up on the internet. Somebody is always recording something. These things right here are very detrimental to somebody going down and ending up in jail because everybody is recording something. Everybody is recording something. And it's just to like read that, and I can just continue reading this because I feel like the hip hop police are still like, from what they just said, that they were watching 6ix9ine, like, even though that ended up the way it was, and it was already, with the whole thing he had going on, I feel like they're still like I said, I feel like they still watching. They waiting on something to happen. They still watching. They watching every rapper and not some rappers. They watching every rapper from gangster to just person who is just out here literally just trying to make money and do better for themselves as a musician. I feel like they all getting watched. Every single one of them. So what it says, the major case squad transitioned into the aforementioned rap intel unit under the watch of NYPD's gang intellect unit. Now, what does that say about how the NYPD thinks about hip hop if it naturally pairs hip hop with gangs? None of this is altogether surprising in theory, but to be substantiated, that is the part that leads to an epiphany. If cops were mentioning Biggie back then and are still monitoring artists today, what really goes on behind the scenes? Police reports indicative of the entire stories they claim to be about, or are they even rooted in the truth as opposed to covering their asses? Anyone who believes wide-scale corruption is not commonplace has not read an article in 2020, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist. The hip hop police are real as fuck. Just think of the Alameda and Aurora police departments, as well as Lindsey Graham's recent request of Georgia Secretary of State Brad Roliffin's I don't know how to say his name. Throw away legal voter ballots. Ultimately, the 6ix9ine documentary exposes many perils. I have not watched that documentary, by the way. There is the clout chasing that quite literally destroys lives, the selfish manipulation nature of the music industry, and of course, then the evil and racially motivated ways of the NYPD. And we only talking about the NYPD. We're not talking about the other police departments that could potentially be involving themselves in rap music and trying to, of course, do sting operations and stakeouts just to find out what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, hip hop police are still out there, and as long as they're still out there, they still gonna be watching rappers, low level and high level, gangster rap to pop rap to singers to positive rappers. Trust me, they watching all of them. They're watching every single one of them, whether they're a threat to society or not. And could it be jealousy? Could it be a way to, push around their power as authoritatives? Who knows? All I know is what is right and what is wrong. So we are going to be talking about Brittany Griner. Brittany says Brittany Griner pleads guilty to Russian drug charges, but denies she intended to break the law. As it reads, Brittany Griner pled guilty to Russian drug charges on Thursday. It's like this was 5 days ago. She faces up to 10 years in prison if convicted. As previously reported, Brittany was detained while entering the country after officials found vape cartridges containing hashish oil in her luggage. I'd like to plead guilty, Your Honor, but there was no intent. I didn't want to break the law, Brittany told the court. Brittany asked the court for time to prepare for a statement. This comes within days of a letter she wrote to President Biden, which I will also read, pleading for his help to get her home. She is set to return to court on July 14th. At this moment in time, it is July 12th. So, I think this just like is reminiscent of I don't know if anybody remembers the Ball brother who got detained in what is that, China, who him and some other people basically took stole some stole some glasses from what is it, a Louis Vuitton store or something like that, and they were about to be facing like major jail time for stealing because China don't play that. People from America who go to other countries just seem to somehow forget that other countries take small things um, very, very, in a very heavy-handed way. Like the small things that we take for granted out here because this is supposed to be a free country, a country of freedom or whatever. Other places definitely do not. They don't play about it. And it took matter of fact, it took Donald Trump. It took Donald Trump doing certain type of tactics and saying things to get the the Ball brother. I believe it's Jello back to America while he was being detained in China, and ultimately that was successful. He did the same exact thing with ASAP Rocky when he was detained in where was he detained? Can't remember. Can't exactly remember, but he got in trouble for basically getting into a fight with a crazed. I don't know if it's a fan. It was a fan or something like that. A fan kept just, I believe, either putting his hands on him or something like that. But it was Sweden. There we go. It was Sweden, and yeah, he got into a altercation, and basically they did something to where they threw him in jail instead of the person who was basically harassing him. And I believe that was just another plot to keep a person from the United States, basically, um, just to prove a point and everything like that. And then again, Donald Trump had to basically go through negotiations, and ultimately, except Rocky was able to be brought back to the United States under certain in a certain type of way. So now we are now talking about a black woman being basically thrown in a Russian jail. Now this circumstance is a little different. Now, if you guys remember, Russia is currently in a war with Ukraine. We're gonna just connect the dots here. See, it's already enough that a it's already enough that a black woman is basically being detained in another country. So I'm just gonna like try to set it up as best as I can, and you tell me when y'all tell me if I'm wrong. Brittany Griner is a black American woman, right? Brittany Griner has believe she has a mother and a father. Probably grew up with just one parent, maybe the father, maybe the mother, or maybe it was maybe she has a maybe both of her parents stayed together and raised her. So that's already difficult right there. A black family household and teaching a child right and wrong, right? Um, Black Americans in general already have a target on their back, a threatening nature that has been put on them by a certain type of society in America, right? Raising her in elementary, teaching her that hey, this is wrong and this is wrong. Raise her gradually going to middle school and finding out about things she didn't know before. From middle school, we get into high school where it's your toughest. It's probably your toughest challenge yet, growing into a young teenager, right? And then when uh when she successfully gets out of when she successfully gets out of high school, graduates high school, um, she is successful enough to go ahead and go to college. That is a new battle. That is a new testimony, right? All this while being a woman, which women already are battling for their rights, like fighting for their rights. And then she's a black woman, so a black woman has much more rights that have not been, given to her. That when we really look at the spectrum of things, it's just a long overdue process of things that black women deserve, right? So when we speak about her profession, we're talking about basketball. Women's basketball is not respected. I think the most exciting thing I've ever watched in my life is women's college basketball. College basketball, let alone men's college basketball, is probably the most exciting type of women's basketball I've ever seen. Right? So she goes through high school. She perfects her craft as a basketball player. Perfects it, perfects it, perfects it. You know, um, the spotlight is put on her because of the type of athlete she is. I'm not sure if she was an All American or not. But in turn, she takes that to college. And in college, she's a spotlighted basketball player. The cameras are on her. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, she went to Oregon, the University of Oregon, and played there. And she was the talk of the town and everything, right? So now, when we start to get into the professional aspect of things, this is just where it goes downhill. This is just where it goes downhill. Let me tell you. Let me tell you that WNBA players. I don't know how much they get, but they are not paid enough. There have been so many talks about WNBA players not being paid very well, not getting the same amount of pay stipend the way the NBA players get. They're put on TV just like the NBA. They but their viewers are lower than the NBA, and this in turn turns into a thing where WNBA players basically have to find other ways to get paid because they're not being paid well in the WNBA. And there are some incredible players in the WNBA. It's just I don't know why, but they don't advertise the WNBA the way they advertise the NBA, and that's a concerning thing to me. I don't really understand it. I don't really get it. Like you put if we're talking about the NBA gets put on this pedestal. They're on like different channels, different corners of the world, um, jersey sales, logos on different things. The coverage, the media coverage that the NBA gets is just over the top and everything like that, right? And then the WNBA, and then we start talking about the WNBA. It's like, well, they barely get coverage at all. They don't have there's no such thing as a WNBA TV. There's no such thing as high selling. I do WNBA players even like? Do they even have jersey? That do they even sell jerseys for the WNBA? I don't think so. But you start to get what I'm saying. It's just not the same as the NBA. You have your stars. When you watch the NBA, they basically put the stars on the forefront. They tell you who the stars are: LeBron, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, James Harden, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Kawhi Leonard, so on and so forth. When I watch the WNBA, they don't give me, they don't tell me who their star players are, who the representatives of the WNBA are. Like I have to really really go Google search this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, I know Sue Bird is an amazing, like she's probably one of the top players in the WNBA. Of course, the OG Lisa Leslie. I remember Cynthia Cooper, Cheryl Swoops. Those are like some of the OG players. Diana Taurasi. What is that girl's name? Candace Parker. They're those. I don't know the representatives of the WNBA because market they don't market who like the representatives of the WNBA are. Like the WNBA doesn't have a 75th anniversary team of players that represent who they are or anything like that. Do you get where I'm going with this? So like I said, back to what I said. So WNBA players don't get paid that good, and they don't get paid that good enough to where they have to find other ways to get paid. And that in turn means that they have to go and play overseas. Because overseas is where the money is for the WNBA players, basically, or women's basketball players. At least overseas, they care enough to pay WNBA players and men's basketball players what they're worth. You know, everybody has a chance. No one person is better than the other. I know if excuse me, I know if like I know if like if somebody like I remember when what is his name? Stephon Marbury literally went to China and made a whole new career for himself and played basketball there and got paid what he was worth and literally built a whole new like career for himself. Allen Iverson went across the pond and literally built a whole new career for himself. Like when you go over like basketball is like number 2 in America. Basketball overseas, I'm sure, is like somewhere at number 4 or something like that. It's not even the top sport, but they treat it like it is over there, I believe. You know, they put, of course, soccer is first in other countries, and basketball. I don't even think they care for football in other countries like that. But yeah, so once we start to speak on that, women's basketball players have to go overseas, play because the more they get paid. So that's what do you think Brittany Griner was doing in Russia? She was in Russia to get paid because she wasn't getting she not making as much as she would in the WWE. And you mean to tell me I'm being like I'm sure it was just a mistake, but when you're from another country and they're trying to make an example out of you, sure they will do all they can to keep you there, and that's what's going on here. She and she said she had wrote a letter to she wrote a letter to the president. So let me see, let me find it really quick, and we're just gonna read that. Read that letter she wrote. Okay, so it states. I'll show y'all the letter. Says, as I sit here in Russia, in a Russian prison, along with my thoughts, and without the protection of my wife, family, friends, I live in Jersey, or any accomplishments, I'm terrified I might be here forever. On the 4th of July, our family normally honors the service of those who fought for our freedom, including my father, who is a Vietnam War veteran. It hurts thinking about how I usually celebrate this day because freedom means something completely different to me this year. I realize you are dealing with so much, but please don't forget about me and the other American detainees. Please do all you can to bring us home. I voted for the first time in 2020, and I voted for you. I believe in you. I still have so much good to do with my freedom that you can help restore it. I miss my wife. I miss my family. I miss my teammates. It kills me to know they are suffering so much right now. I am grateful for whatever you can do at this time to get me home. Man, this is sad. But as I stated, they're really going to use this as an example. And Joe Biden and the president just sent Ukraine about another $1 million for for the war. He done already sent like 2 million maybe more to Ukraine. So it's like now Russia is not going. I don't think Russia is going to let up on this on this Brittany Griner thing. I don't think they letting up at all. They just want you. They want to hold on to this as much as they can. They want to hold on to this for as long as they can. Like I said, I think it's just a thing of like, even though I think I read that like vape vapes in Russia are legal. So it's like after you hear that, after you go read up and do your research on that, it's like, what did they? It's like what's the point of this? What's the real point of this for real? Yeah, hopefully she gets to. Hopefully something happens to where she can, you know, be released. It's just looking like it's gonna take some time for that to happen. She might actually have to sit behind the wall and be there in another country, which is just terrible. She's just missing her whole entire family. Of course, she doesn't speak the Russian language, so they're just probably just laughing and making all types of comments in Russian. So that's a scary thing. It's just terrible. I hope something good comes of it. I think I seen something else before I just get off of it completely. Seen something else. I was looking through here and I saw quickly. just seen it somewhere. Okay, yeah. So it says, let me just put it up right here. I just found it. All right, it says that the ongoing legal saga of WNBA star Brittany Griner continues to produce interesting updates, and the latest involves her freedom in exchange for a notorious criminal. According to recent reports, the attorney for incarcerated arms dealer Victor Bout says Brittany Griner could be released in exchange for his client's imprisonment in Russia. Steve Zuzu, the U.S. attorney for currently incarcerated arms dealer Victor Bout, recently stated that Moscow, Russia is prepared to release Brittany Griner from custody if the U.S. government agrees to a prisoner swap with Victor Bout. Bout is currently serving a 25-year sentence in the U.S. for his severe crimes that earned him the nickname the Merchant of Death. Speaking about the potential prisoner swap, Zuzu spoke on the process, saying it really isn't complicated. The initial discussions of a prisoner swap involving Brittany Griner and Victor Bout began shortly after she was detained as former diplomat New Mexico Governor Richardson was asked to help with the process due to his experience with international hostage negotiations. However, it should be noted that okay. So I think this was also 5 days ago. All right, so this is not an old thing. So this is probably what they're trying to be in negotiations for to get this guy who's I believe who's jailed here in America and then have an exchange for Brittany Griner. Hopefully they're still in talks for this. So that would be something. I also saw a comment that said like, and I'm not sure who. I believe it was her. I believe it was Brittany Griner who said it. That she actually said that if this was LeBron James, they'd be doing everything they could to free her and get her back to America. I don't know if it was her or if it was somebody else, but yeah, it would be so different if it was somebody like LeBron James who was jailed and being detained or being on the potential side, being put in prison in another country. They would be doing all that again because LeBron James is a big star and he's a man. So it's like, but really, you still have to think inside your head, like, how much would they really get? We're talking about a different administration here, so who knows? All right, we are back with another reaction. I'm not really gonna like play this one because of the reasons of I do not want my stuff to get flagged over because like the next slide is the actual video, but it says the son of U.S. President Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, iCloud was hacked. Video leak shows him arguing with a woman over crack total. How do I feel about this? With everything that's already going on in America as it is, inflation, food shortages, a war that has nothing to do with us, and our president sending funds over to that country while I know that they need, but we also have fires out here in America that need to be put out. Homegrown terrorism going on here in America. All of that going on. I'm not even gonna put this on the thing of Republican or Democrat. I don't really care about that at this very moment in time. It's like this is the evisceration of Hunter Biden. The whole evisceration, bro. This is just that other side's ploy to basically just continue to just put out a narrative against Biden and his son and I'm surprised they haven't tried to put out a narrative about Kamala yet. She's been quite quiet in these times since she got elected. But I mean, hey, it's just what I see. It's what I see, and not I don't hear her as much. But I don't really care about none of that. It's just like right is right and wrong is wrong, and if we're if things are way worse off now than they ever were, it's like it's almost kind of like, what is the point of this? What I really kind of question, like, what is the point of this presidency? What is the point of this term? Like, what is being done? Like, what is being done, bro? Because we got kids being destroyed in their places of learning where they're supposed to feel safe. You know, the Japan's Prime Minister Shinzo Abe was assassinated speaking at a rally. He was speaking at a Democratic Party rally in Japan on July 8th, 2022. During the speech, two shots rang out from the crowd and impacting Abe directly, rushing him to the hospital where he was later pronounced to have passed away. This is the video right here. Says a man was apprehended at the scene after apparently firing two shots with a weapon that appeared to be a homemade firearm. It has to make you wonder though, like, it's foul play at heart here, because there must have been something he was saying that was important while he was here doing that, doing the, you know, doing whatever speech he was doing. And I guess it always ends up being something about somebody not liking the person for certain policies or whatever, you know, as it pertains to just a political figure. So I have to wonder, like, what kind of like ideology was he stating whenever he would talk? And somebody has to really be have thinking about having this thought process of doing something like that for a long time if they went and made a homemade piece of artillery. Homemade artillery is just that's really planning everything out, homemade, and then you do the just the person must have did it from you know says a man was he must have not been that far away, to have been caught like that. And then yeah, it had to have been. It said, oh, he's a former prime minister. Okay, I thought it was like the actual Japanese prime minister. So from what I can see here, it's not the actual Japanese prime minister. It's a former. Abe arrived at a hospital in Nara without any vital signs and reporting he lost a lot of blood. Says that Abe was the longest serving prime minister since World War II. He held office from 2006 to 2007 and again from 2012 to 2020 and resigned in 2020 citing health issues. The world is crazy. So much going on. You don't have any time to react, and it's just crazy to see that a figure like this, just life was taken so suddenly like this. It's just wild, man. That anybody would even be plotting to do this to somebody, just because they don't agree with what a person is speaking about or saying or anything like that. I just think it's very evil the way this went down. And then the guy went and made a homemade gun and everything like that. So it's just like, whoa, bro, you're a different breed doing this type of stuff. Can't even fathom what the it's just too much. So while we're at it, we might as well just talk about the senator from Rhode Island who was twerking that thing thing. You dig what I'm saying? She was twerking that thing thing. Rhode Island State Senator Tierra Mack responds to backlash from twerking while doing a handstand on TikTok. Hey man, listen, first of all, she got to do what she got to do to get them votes. You dig what I'm saying? If she gotta clap, clap some cakes to get them votes, I'm not mad at her. You dig what I'm saying? You got to do what you got to do. All these, what I'm saying? All these, yeah. All these politicians be making promises, and you know what I'm saying? Not you know what I'm saying? Not putting 10 on 100. You hear what I'm saying? Let's see this woman right here. You hear me? This black woman right here. You know what I'm saying? She is, what I'm saying, trying to put a little sauce on it. You dig what I'm saying? Oh my goodness. Look at that. Wow. Wow. God bless America. God bless America. Mm, mm. It says a United States Senator. Wow. Just wow. And she's quirky. Okay. All right. She's quirky. All right. Hey, I like it. I like it. She got a nice, you know what I'm saying? Got a nice little, she got something back there, not too much, but it's something. You feel me? She got something back there. Hey, this is the first time I have ever heard of any type of politician twerking. You know, never heard of it before, but I'm not mad at it. You did something? I'm not mad at it at all. You hear me? I'm not mad at it at all, man. And man, you know what I'm saying? Another part of me would have been like, hey, man, what's her cash app? You dig what I'm saying? Forget about the vote. I don't even want the vote. It's just like, what is her cash app? Let me send you some. You know what I'm saying? For just, like giving me that visual. You know what I'm saying? You dig what I'm saying? For giving me that visual. You hear me? Like, hey, like, thank you for like putting yourself out there for votes. You know what I'm saying? Some of these politicians be making open-handed promises and all this and all that, but you, hunty, shawty doo wop, you went the extra mile, took the hot sauce out the bag. Might I add? You had it in the bag, but you took it out and you pulled it out like that. You know what I'm saying? Did your thing that. You did that. You did that. You didn't have to, but you did. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't got no problem with that. You hear me? I ain't got no problem with that. Everybody can say what they want to say, but I'm here for it, and I'm staying. You hear me? Mm. 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 Talk that shit. Talk that shit. Talk that shit. To be honest, sweetheart, you don't even gotta be responding to none of these folks, man. They just hating on you. You know what I'm saying? They just hate. Like they hate because they ain't never seen something like that. You know what I'm saying? They ain't never seen no cornbread. You know what I'm saying? Shaking. You hear me? You hear what I'm saying? Mm. Mm. Okay. Mm. Oh, and another thing is she don't even look old, bro. Like, most like politicians are old, like hella old looking. She don't even look old. She look young. She's a young politician. That's another thing. Mm. Talk that. Mm. Mm-hmm. Hey, but why is she not lying? Why is she not lying about that? It says, I don't ever want to hear you complain about how women aren't respected in this country. Well, because we're not talking about women in this country. We're talking about she made a claim there, and she was right when she said black women. Set the race back with this. But you know what's crazy? All these people who like put comments on her page. Let's just see. First, a person without an actual picture. Another person without an actual picture. Another person without an actual picture. Another person without an actual picture. That's another person with no picture in the AVI. Another person without an actual picture. Bro, all those people that commented on her stuff are just trolls. Don't have actual pictures and can't be man or woman enough to show their face. Put your actual AVI up and show your face and stop being a fucking pussy. Damn, if you're man enough to like actually write down or comment something on a YouTube page or an Instagram page or a TikTok page or a Facebook page or any page where you can comment and not use a real picture, your comment is not valid. You're not valid. It's not valid. We don't believe you. You need more people. You was so much of a who these people who be like people who really be doing making troll comments and they'll be having real pictures up. Like you were pussy enough to comment something sucker like on a page and not put your actual face in it. That shows how much of a coward you really are. That's all I'm saying. If you were a man or woman enough to put something distasteful on somebody's page, you should be man enough or woman enough to like at least show your face. I mean, golly, these are all troll comments. None of them are actual real person comments. But I mean, you go, sis. Do your thing, man. I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm with it. All I'm saying is I'm mad that I didn't get the memo on the DoorDash glitch. Like seriously, I could have used the. I was broke at some point. I really could have used that DoorDash glitch. I mean, seriously. So, I mean, if y'all didn't know, there was like an actual DoorDash. I don't even use DoorDash. I thought there was something weird going on when I received a text from DoorDash about something. Somebody must have, I don't know, must have hacked my DoorDash account or something like that. I don't know, but all I know is, yeah, just something happened with that. And yeah, something happened with that, and now basically, yeah, basically people were people were basically ordering. So people were basically ordering stuff off of DoorDash and basically not having to pay for it and receiving the orders too. That's what drive me. I'm sure people was ordering thousands and thousands of bottles of Hennessy and Casamigos and what is the rocks alcohol, buying 16 bottles of that and ordering 20 bags of food from McDonald's. Just overall pandemonium. I tell you what, it's crazy, and I'm just mad I didn't get to get in on it. 'Cause, and I'm wondering, does that even do they did they? I'm wondering like what even happened with that after the glitch went away or whatever, or when DoorDash finally, what even happened? I don't even understand what. And how did the glitch even happen? Like where did the glitch come from? And why did Uber Eats have a glitch? Why did Uber Eats to get a glitch, bro? Where's the glitch for Uber Eats? I don't understand why I couldn't get in on that. Thought it was crazy, but all right. Just gonna move on from this. So now, just to get into the story of, of course, if you don't know already, the whole thing with Emmett Till and his tragic way he tragically was taken out of the world, and that ultimately becoming a face for the injustices of black people at a time when Jim Crow was going on and everything like that. And ultimately, a lot of things came out about basically the people who committed the heinous act of getting rid of a 14-year-old black child, being that the white woman who accused him of doing all these things and saying all these things to her lied, right? We're going to come back to that. The two white men, the husband of the husband of the lady who lied, also lied, and the other white man who helped with with the brutal uh, things that happened to him until that disgusting night, lying as well. It's a whole bunch of lying, racism that really happened, and also just the fact that there were other black people. There were two other black men who helped these two white men assault Emmett Till is just even more makes it even more disgusting because it's your own people helping with this, you know, um, and them keeping. And another thing is them keeping up the lie for as long as they did. The two gentlemen who the two white gentlemen keeping up the lie until they both were basically deceased is just what disgusts me. I mean, at least one of them went to jail for something else not related, but I mean they could have did something with that because I mean, that should have just been on GP, but to no avail. Of course, he lived his life and went on without any hitch that had to do with Emmett Till. Even though they did confess to they did confess to doing it, but they told a whole different story, which is another fabricated lie. But now, as it sits today, the family and the foundation of Emmett Till and the mother of Emmett, the legacy of the mother of Emmett Till um, brings together a new anything that has to do with there being an arrest warrant that was found in like the basement of a police department, I believe. Let me just find it real quick. Either the basement of a courthouse or the basement of a police department, and they just, I guess they just never decided to pursue it, or for whatever reason. But now that the woman who accused him of it is like 70 years old, they're trying to bring her to justice before she basically kicks the bucket, which is, I mean, it feels like it's almost too late. Almost feels like it's kind of too late to even go after her, because I mean she's already in her 70s, and it's now not looking like, you know, not really looking like something that needs to be pursued. But at the same token, they went after Bill Cosby. What's another old person going to jail? If they can jail Bill Cosby for whatever they jailed him for, um, they certainly can get this 70-year-old woman, respectfully put her behind bars. I don't care if it's a year, 5 months, whatever. She lied. She lied. I mean, some would say, hey, I'd rather her just suffer, just be old and suffer and pass away from natural causes. But I don't think, I think we're missing a point here about a white woman back in 1950 something lying, like literally lying, and then her coming out later. Of course, I mean, it doesn't make it, it doesn't make it any better. But her being manipulated to lie by her then husband at the time, and then it being coming out the way it did, and no justice being served or anything like that, and even from the two men later on in their lives, still standing on a story that was a fib. And the only person that got hurt in all of this was the mother and the 14-year-old boy who was just 14. Those white men and the two black men who assisted them were all grown men. It's like, I don't, at a certain point when I looked at the I don't know if it was like a biopic or something like that that ABC put together for the mother of for the mother of Emmett Till. But I watched that, and then I kind of put it in perspective, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, him being did the like what they did to that boy on that day. I don't think that had anything to do with him whistling at a woman, or did he even whistle at a woman? That's even a question. Did he even really actually whistle at a woman? I don't think it had anything to do with him even doing anything to the woman. I just think they wanted. I just think that those white men wanted to do something to him just because he was black. I mean, would they have done? Would they have done a white child like that? Very seldom even doubt it would even come to that. They was just doing that to do it because I'm sure they knew they were gonna get off. I'm sure, his the word of some black people, the word of Emmett Till's uncle and whoever witnessed it versus theirs. The those white men were always gonna get the verdict of not guilty. Come on now. So I mean, them bringing the arrest warrant to the 7-year-old woman, I guess I could say like, yeah, that's a it's a good thing that they found it, but at the same time, it's just like it feels like it's